I know people watching Borough TV will say immediately Juninho, Emerson, watching games such as this. What was the inspiration, Simon? Was it Juninho?
It was Juninho. 2.5 years ago, him and I became friends, and luckily for me and the kids in Leeds, he came down here and started working with the children, coaching them with me, and more importantly than that, he started planning coaching sessions that I could deliver to the kids. And the big thing he couldn't understand was that here we didn't have the game that he played as a kid, and that all of the Brazilian greats had played, Futebol de Salao.
Well, now the one thing is, again, we're going to show people, I suppose, on camera here, the ball, it doesn't bounce, does it?
No, it doesn't bounce. So you're forced to play good football. You can't hit it in the air, you can't hit it long. You're stuck with the ball on the floor, so if you want to play this game, you've got to play good, as the Brazilians would say, beautiful football. And all of Pele, Zico, Rivelino, Juninho, Emerson, Ronaldo, they all played this as kids. In Brazil, it's part of the school curriculum, and I think it's a great way for developing skills and techniques.
Because with the World Cup, you know, the people see Brazil as the favourites for that, and you look back over, is it 4 World Cups that they won? That wasn't all down to luck, was it?
No, I think Juninho and I worked on a book, which the research that I did for the book, I look back, and even in the 50s we had people like Tom Finney, Wally Barnes, who was the captain of Wales, and even the FA in 1950 set up a committee to examine what they referred to as the scientific methods of Brazilian football. The committee met once, was headed by Sir Stanley Rouse, and was then disbanded. And Tom Finney, in his book Finney on Football, devotes a whole chapter to why we should follow the Brazilian example. They've been doing it since then, and even now, and I think we've got a long way to go to catch up with them, but something like Futebol de Salao will be a big help for kids here.
When we look at the game, as it's been played, Futebol de Salao, what specifically will that give people to help them make it as Premier League footballers or international footballers?
Well, Juninho said to me, and when I was with Zico and Pele, they repeated almost his same words, and I'll repeat them to you, that in this game, because the ball is always on the floor, you get more touches of the ball. It's in a tight area, the size of a basketball court. You can't play off the walls, so you get a lot of good work up and down the sides. There's only 4 outfield players sharing the ball, and because it's heavier, it is a little bit easier to control when it's coming to you. The sting's taken out of it. You find you're welcome to have a try today if you'd like.
People who've seen this will say, no, I don't have a go at football. Yeah, we've been trying.
You find that the sole of the foot is used, I'd say 75% of the time, and the kids subconsciously learn to get out of tight spots, situations, and pick up good habits. And Juninho said to me that when he came to play 11-a-side, which he only played at 15 for the first time, conventional football, he'd only played Futebol de Salao up to then, he said he found it easy.
Because the ball would be lighter and you can move
bigger, you've got more space.
But the point really that somebody may be saying about Brazilian football, that the difference is that in this country now, we play football, but we've also got computer games, people are a lot richer. You know, the reason why Brazil is so good is because there's still the poor background there, which may be sad for a lot of reasons, but it does produce the hunger to play football.
There is poverty in Brazil, but where we're in Leeds today, there's poverty in Leeds, there's poverty in areas of Middlesbrough, and I'd say São Paulo as a city obviously is a hell of a lot bigger than Leeds or even London, but the sort of social mix there, I wouldn't say is any different to here. The kids there have computer games. I think we have these image of all Brazilians as living in shanty towns, which they don't. I mean, in São Paulo, those poor areas are in the minority. They're out towards the airport, and the players don't really come from those type of backgrounds in the main, and the majority of kids at the clubs like São Paulo now are middle class, and it isn't really an escape from football. I think in Brazil the people see football as an art, and it's no chore for them.
I'm sure that the youngsters watching Borough TV will be saying, and the adults as well, I want to play, I want to get hold of one of these footballs, I want to get out there, and whether it's Albert Park, kick the ball out. How soon might they be able to do that? Are we going to see any footballers Socatots on Teesside?
Yeah, well, I'm committed to beginning Futebol de Salao in Middlesbrough, which I will do before the end of the year, and the ball which Micah have made will be available in all sports shops from October, and there's a children's version of the ball and an adult's. So, from then I would hope everybody would be playing, I've had a tremendous response from schools, from professional clubs, and even the England national team, who are using the game 30 minutes every day in the build up to the World Cup. So it's got something for football at every level, but I think it offers most for kids.